Okay, off the cuff. What am I going to talk about? Maybe I'll talk about seeking validation today, because it's kind of it kind of ties into, I believe, to my decision making and the way I navigate life, which is I seek sort of like I seek external validation, and to some degrees I don't think that's wrong. To other degrees, when you rely entirely on external validation, then it's not so good. Um, yeah, so so I think that's also like a symptom of perhaps emotionally immature parents, um, which is what I believe to have had. Though funny, I just read the book, well, listened to it rather, Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents. And it's funny, all the phases of that book, I feel like I've naturally gone through every step, sort of, as it were, every phase, but the book kind of gave them names, so that was like sort of interesting. It was a book I wish I knew about or picked up maybe like 4 years ago, because had I done it 4 years ago, I would have sped up the journey of like healing from emotionally immature parents. But either way, it was an interesting book. And actually, the part of the illuminating thing was that it just made me realize that I'm myself. I mean, I always kind of thought this, but that, like, I'm not mature in a lot of ways. But I didn't quite see it as maturity. I just saw it as like not self-actualized. But it does seem I do have emotional immaturity, and quite a fair ways to go before I become emotionally mature. But anyway, that ties into the external validation and seeking it all the time. And it's a big part of my decision making because I don't really want to let people down is one part, and that's possibly a more positive trait. It kind of makes me more accountable and more reliable when it comes to just like keeping my word. Like when I make promises and stuff like that, I'm usually pretty good at upholding it. And if I can't uphold it, I like crumble and I feel horrible because I'm so afraid of being a disappointment. Again, that comes from childhood stuff. So that, like, I don't want to overanalyze like my childhood for this session. I want to think more moving forward, and what is it I can do with this this requirement or need for external validation. So one part is like I do think the concept of like internal validation exclusively is unhealthy because we live both in the internal and the external. So, but I think when you're reliant exclusively on external validation, for me, it's very hard to basically be alone ever. Because say I'm working on something or trying to do anything really, and I don't have someone motivating me and validating me and saying, yeah, good job and stuff. It makes it very hard to self-motivate because I can't validate myself, so I lack the internal validation. And I noticed this when I was using Instagram more frequently. I would be making paintings a lot. Like I would start making a painting, and I would take stories of like my setup and me painting it, and put stories on Instagram. And it'd be like, I'd maybe start painting, and I'd be like 20 minutes in, and I'd do a story with some music and stuff like that. And it gave me validation because people were like, "Oh, you're so creative! Like you're painting all the time." But the truth is, after I make that story, I'd maybe paint for another like maybe 20 minutes, and that'd be it. That'd be like 40 minutes of the day. So I was unable to actually sit down and paint for like hours without posting anything about it, just for me, just for the sake of doing it, or even the sake of improving at the process of painting or whatever. So yeah, that was me again, seeking external validation, seeking people to comment, and I didn't really know, but like reflecting on it, I was like, whoa, that was kind of dark. And that's actually the reason I got rid of Instagram, because I didn't want to have it as this weird validating crutch. So yeah. I'm trying to think, I always pause at a stoplight. It's because I think both the walking stops and there's like, I guess, people around, and I feel like self-conscious. Yeah, so on the topic of, so I guess like moving from that point of I was using Instagram as a crutch, I got rid of Instagram like indefinitely. I like permanently deleted my account that had so much of my art and stuff like that. And so I got rid of it, and it didn't really do much, to be honest. didn't do much. Like it didn't like maybe also maybe my passion for painting is just kind of gone. But I don't know. Again, I said in the last thing that I really like love collaboration, but the truth is to be able to collaborate. Like I've developed some fairly decent rhythm skills by going to a ton of drum circles, but I never ever drummed by myself. Maybe I drum on tables and stuff, but I didn't like sit down to like learn like patterns and all this stuff that would make me a better drummer. But I just went to a lot of drum circles, so I guess that was sort of my dedication. But again, it was, and actually at drum circles, no, yeah, you do get external validation, because if you play well, people give you the nod and say, or like, yeah, that's good. And when I play bad, then I feel horrible. I'm like, oh god, this is terrible, and feel super insecure. It depends on the space. Sometimes there's a very supportive space to learn for drumming and stuff like that. For anything, actually, it depends the spaces you're in. Anyway, what did I want to? Okay, yeah. So maybe that's just my value system. I don't want to paint in isolation. I don't want to do creative pursuits in isolation. I just like being around people. But then it's funny. I do like my solitude. Just to recharge my battery. Sometimes I like the alone. I guess sometimes when I make music and sing, that's like the one thing that I kind of like to do alone. But even that, I like when I'm working on something. After 30 minutes, I'll take like an Instagram video and post it of like whatever little like melody I just made, and then I don't really follow through and finish things. I think that's the issue with external validation. Which the funny thing is, when you do put something out there. Anyway, actually that's a weird one, yeah, because I'm wondering if I had the internal validation to say I validated myself for working on this track or whatever, and I just dedicate myself the whole day to, I don't know, I've never really worked on something for a day. It's kind of hard to sit down and just work on stuff, but fuck, I want to gain the skill. Yeah. I'm also like, I haven't been on my laptop for a while, because I feel, and I may have said this in another video, I actually may want to make a whole video dedicated to this topic. It's the idea that I'm like pair bonded with my laptop, so opening it up, if I'm alone in a room with my laptop, it's like I'm alone in a room with my with my lover, which is fucked up, but that's just what it is. So yeah, lately I've been focusing more on movement stuff. I have a decent movement routine. I could be doing more movement. I definitely have the energy to do more movement, so I am doing a lot more movement possibly than I've really done before, so that's good. It's crazy that there's birds. It's like -10, which isn't that bad actually for where I am. I'm just -25 here. But yeah, right now it's -10 and it kind of sucks still. I don't like it. Ooh, I slipped and died. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how to dim it down and how to live in a way that I don't require I guess I don't require constant external validation. I do think it's healthy to like if you produce something or you do something or you have an action that you do get external validation as well as internal validation, but the constant need for it is unhealthy and kind of makes it so it's like I kind of need attention all the time. Like a type of being like every move I make, people be like, nice, you're going out for a walk, that's so nice, good job. Oh nice, you're going to open up your laptop to make a music, nice. And that's why that's what Instagram stories do. They're like, or stories in general, whatever. You put stories and you're like, oh nice, you're doing this little thing. I don't know. I think it's, yeah, anyway, it's a crutch. I just want to be creative. I want to help people. I want to feel useful to the world in some way. And I just don't know how to do it. So, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Yeah. Yep, I think I'll end this. I'll end this here. And yeah, I'm gonna maintain. I think all I can do right now is to maintain awareness of why I'm doing the actions I'm doing, why I'm engaging in the activities I'm doing. And I think if I am doing something for the exclusive sole purpose of validation, I have to ask myself why. Why am I doing it? Why do I want to be validated? So, yeah, that's honestly, it's a weird thing, but awareness always seems to be the answer. Just like raising awareness seems to give answers. So yeah, I don't quite have an answer to it yet. But I think perhaps just even recording this thought process will help me, I guess, moving forward, is to just ask the questions and try to, again, another issue I have is I over intellectualize almost every process of my life, and it can really drain me. So I really like analyze like every aspect, but it's more intellectualized rather than from the emotional standpoint. So I think perhaps I can continue analyzing, but rather without such a mathematical, I don't want to call it mathematical because I'm not really a mathematical person, but it's very like calculated and like balancing an equation type thing. Sometimes I just want to feel into my emotions a little bit more. So if I can raise my emotional awareness, I might, some things might come to the surface that might be interesting to shed light on. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. So yeah, asking the question, why am I engaging in this activity? Which I do ask that frequently, and then like, if I am, like, say, posting something, why am I posting it? Why am I posting? Oh yeah, which is usually tied to external validation, and then the question is, why do I need external validation? Because I'm insecure. But anyway, yeah, alright, ta-ta.